If you run Flowise for AI agent workflows, MCP servers that fetch authenticated web pages, or Elastic Cloud on Kubernetes, check versions today. The immediate risks are practical: remote code execution in Flowise Custom MCP configurations, Python code injection through agent nodes, plaintext credential exposure through an API response, SSRF bypass in an MCP fetch server, and Kubernetes secret reference issues in ECK. Patch first, then review which agents can reach files, credentials, cloud metadata, and internal networks. Lead item, CVE 2026-73601 in Flowise before 3.1.3. NVD describes a remote code execution vulnerability in the custom MCP node when custom_MCP_ protocol is set to STIO. Authenticated users may execute arbitrary commands by manipulating environment variables and command parameters. Treat this as a high-priority fix for any shared Flowise deployment. Update to 3.1.3 or later, restrict who can create or edit MCP tool nodes, and run Flowise workers with least privilege, no broad shell access, and tightly scoped secrets. Second, CVE 2026-73485, also fixed in Flowise 3.1.3. NVD says the Airtable agent node contains a code injection vulnerability that can allow unauthenticated attackers to execute arbitrary Python code by bypassing a validator block list through obfuscation. The defensive lesson is that block lists are fragile in AI workflow nodes that execute or evaluate code-like inputs. Update, disable unused agent nodes, isolate Python execution, and monitor unexpected network or file activity from workflow containers. Third, CVE 2026-73604 in Flowise before 3.1.3. This is an incomplete credential redaction issue where an API endpoint can return decrypted secrets in plaintext to authenticated users with credentials view permission. Even when code execution is not involved, credential exposure can become the incident. After patching, audit credential view permissions, rotate exposed tokens if logs or users may have accessed them, and prefer short-lived keys for cloud, SaaS, and model provider integrations. Fourth, CVE 2026-49857 in auth-fetch-mcp version 3.0.1. NVD describes an SSRF protection bypass in an MCP server that lets AI assistants fetch authenticated web pages. The issue involves URL validation that can be bypassed, allowing requests toward private or loopback addresses under certain conditions. Upgrade when a fixed release is available, block private network egress at the network layer, and never rely only on application URL filters when an agent can ask a server to fetch content. Fifth, CVE 2026-72640 in Elastic Cloud on Kubernetes. NVD says the ECK operator reads secret references from an annotation on managed secrets and accepts the namespace recorded in each reference without validating authorization for the resource. For cluster defenders, update according to Elastic guidance, review who can modify ECK managed resources and annotations, and watch for unexpected cross-namespace secret references. Today's checklist: update Flowise to 3.1.3 or later, inventory MCP nodes and authenticated fetch servers, remove unused tools, sandbox code execution and command execution, bind agent services only to trusted interfaces, block metadata and private network destinations unless explicitly required, audit credential view roles, rotate secrets that may have been exposed, and review Kubernetes RBAC around ECK managed resources. No exploit code is needed to act on this. The safest move is patch, reduce privileges, and make agent tool boundaries explicit.